Inside MC, the podcast where I sit down with an amazing guest every single week. And this week, I have someone very special on. This is a very special occasion, and I'm really hyping them up, so they're probably sitting here smiling, but there's a reason for it, and we'll get into it in a minute. I am joined with the amazing Shadoune.
Hola chicos, aquí estamos en InsideMC, vamos!
Whoa, I kind of understood that. I understood bits
Did you?
of it.
Nice.
A little bit. You said, hello, Chico's friend, right? Hello, friends.
Yeah, hello friends.
Welcome back
We're
to
back
Inside
in
MC.
the podcast InsideMC.
Okay.
We are doing the interview in Spanish, right?
I know little bits of Spanish. I know little bits of
Yeah,
Spanish.
you know.
Hola,
Nice.
me llamo Orbit. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Y tú,
Sí.
estás bien?
Muy bien. I also know me encanto is I love. So fun fact, this isn't a fun fact I was referring to, but it's just come to mind. So my partner's Argentinian, so she speaks Spanish.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
not really around me. So
I love Argentina. It's really cool.
Yes, I mean, we want to go at one point because she hasn't been over in a while because of family and stuff, and obviously living in England is very hard and expensive to get there. But at one point, it's a plan. How are you doing today, Shadoune? Anyways.
I'm doing fine. I'm pretty hyped. I actually watched a few podcasts of yours. I think I watched like Fireworks, Rec Raps, some people from HBG because I really love like speedrunning. I don't play that much, but I love like the community, HBG and stuff. So, and I think it's a really good way to know more about your favorite creators.
You've also been commentating. We will touch on it a little bit later, but you've commentated a fair few of the MCSR ranked as well in Spanish, I believe it is.
Oh yeah. I got invited to for the official cast of MCSR ranked playoffs. I think I did like 3 times. And it's always very fun because I invite like Spanish creators to watch with me, and of course we don't know like that much compared to Feinberg and Nerdy and like this type of pro players, but we have fun. We have fun, and dude, it's amazing like seeing players finishing Minecraft in like 6 minutes and do a 0 cycle. It's awesome.
So I hyped you up in the intro here, saying this is a monumental day. I also told you before the podcast I had a fun fact. So we've kind of established it by now as well. So you speak English. You also speak other languages, I believe Spanish and French. I'm not sure if you speak any more than that.
Yeah.
You don't make content in English though, do you? You're not like you might stream an MCC every now and then if you're on an English team, but your content and your streams are primarily not English, right?
Yeah, that's right. My main content is all Spanish now. I used to do a bit of French content since I'm French, but there's no content in Spanish, in English. I mean, of course, as you said, like if I play like Block Wars or MCC or Mayhem, of course I will stream in English because I have to communicate with my teammates. But maybe sometimes I will mute and just say "Vamos chicos, vamos a ganar" and communicate in Spanish, no? Like with my chat.
Yeah.
But I actually did an English video. I think I never uploaded it. Did I? I have a second channel, which was my French channel, which is like really inactive now. And I actually wanted it to be my French and English channel, and I actually like recorded UHC highlights in English because I used to upload a lot of UHC highlights, and I don't know, I think I never uploaded it because I just found out that I didn't want to do content in English. Like I had no time for this. I wanted to do only content in Spanish. Look, I have an English channel with 0 subs because I have 0 subscribers on that. Amazing.
So this has taken ages. Sorry to get to the hype here because I'm making this really long-winded for no reason here. Basically, you're the first creator to come on the podcast who doesn't make content in English. So like, I've had with my ex on who like has a Dutch channel, but then still kind of streams and makes content primarily in English. But you are the first content creator to come on that isn't a quote unquote English speaking content creator. So I'm sorry for Shadoune fans who are listening to this. I absolutely wish I could speak a different language. I've tried learning Spanish. I did Spanish for 5 years in secondary school. It's just my brain it's so annoying. You know how your brain can't process certain things? My one is sadly another language because I tried learning sign language during COVID and I learned the alphabet and I can't remember any of it. So it's a bit sad, but Regardless, hopefully on YouTube the auto captions are correct and up to speed. We shall see. So yeah, you're the first content creator, so you're making history here today, Shadoune, by coming on.
Let's
history
go.
for the InsideMC podcast, that is. Anyways.
After how much podcast? Because how many? Because you got a lot.
Question. This is podcast number 165.
Nice.
Oh, no, 166. 166. Sorry.
166. Like Shadoune666.
Yeah, kind of similar, right? It's like I planned it 100%.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring you back on for the 666th episode as well in
like 8 years, right?
yeah, exactly. Before we kind of get carrying on talking, and before I kind of ask the questions here, I always like to give the introduction, which we're kind of past now, but regardless, for you to introduce yourself. So we've kind of done it a little bit here now, like people like kind of learning about yourself. But who are you? What do you do? And if you have a fun fact, which I feel like we might have ruined already because you did have a really cool one, but I feel like I've already said it. But regardless, let's hear it.
Okay. Hi, nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Shadoune666. I'm a French, Spanish-speaking creator. I was born in Paris. I live in France, but now I make all my content in Spanish. I make content on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm more of a streamer than anything, but I used to be like more than as a YouTuber. Like I started YouTube like in 2013. And my fun fact, I play Minecraft, a lot of Minecraft.
A lot of Minecraft.
A lot of Minecraft. I think I on Twitch I have like 7,000 hours streamed on Minecraft.
Jeez, okay.
And so it's my main content since, like 10 years already. And my fun fact is I actually was born in Paris. I moved in Spain 4 years ago. And actually moved to Mexico 2 months ago. So I live in Mexico now.
Oh, jeez. Big change. Big time zone change as well, huh?
Big change, yeah. So now, you know what's good about Mexico?
What's good?
I have good ping now. I have better ping than in Europe. Let's go.
True. Wait, what? But like, for what servers though? I guess like, is it the events you're on about? Like majority of them are hosted on
NA servers.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, fun fact is like I moved to Mexico and I got invited to an event. I don't remember which one. Okay, that was the first event I played in Mexico. It was hosted on EU servers. And like no one hosted in EU, no one. And I was like, dude, I moved to Mexico and now I have like 150 ping because it's EU. That's terrible.
Absolutely insane. But don't worry, future events, you'll have really good ping.
Yeah, actually, like in Block Wars, I notice it a lot. I think, it might be like personal opinion, but I think Block Wars is more like ping dependent than MCC. And like because like there's a lot of game with bows and crossbow, like extractions. And dude, like if you have more than 100 ping, you notice it a lot. Like you can't just shoot quickly. And now that I'm in Mexico, I played once and dude, it's so much better. Of course, I don't have like 10 ping. I have like maybe 70 or something in Mexico, but it's so much better. So yeah, it's kind of awesome.
So you were already good, but now you're even better, is what you're saying. So you was already a force to be reckoned with, and now we should be even more scared, basically.
I hope I get a bit better. You know what? Okay, there's one game that I think ping gives you an advantage. I think it's Rocket Spliff. Like in Rocket Spliff Rush in MCC, which I'm actually a really good player. I think I got point record. I talked to Feinberg about this, and like we agreed that you can actually jump higher with higher ping. It's really complicated to jump sometimes with like really low ping. So I guess I will be nerfed now on this game.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but this is kind of similar to that. Do you remember the old MCC practice server, like the parkour on the Ace Race and stuff? So the Ace Race map, it was impossible to get the world record if you were on higher ping. So for instance, when Venom got the world record for that, or quote unquote world record, you get the idea for like the practice server. CPK or like non-American creators physically couldn't beat it because there were certain things that like a ping. It's crazy. Like ping saved you the tiniest tick.
That's good.
Speed. So if you
it got optimized so much.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you weren't in America, you physically couldn't get the fastest time. It's insane. It's crazy what ping can do, and that's why I know, like, for instance with MCC, they never really make anything like money dependent or whatever other than Twitch Rivals Live, because everyone's in one place. So if anything happens, you can't blame the ping, you can't blame lag because you're all in the same area. So
Yeah, but I think it's more like, okay, I see it another way. It's like MC is like really like family friendly, and they want people to have fun instead of like compete, like really try hard and sweat a lot.
yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that's why there's no money. But like on Twitch rivals, like there's money, but
It's
almost
split
everyone.
evenly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's split evenly, and like I know that like the winner team has like $100 more, but it's because like they have to do this because in the rules it's called like it says that the first team has to earn more money.
Yeah. So
But
you haven't won a Twitch Rivals yet, have you, MCC?
I did.
You won MCC
I
Twitch
won the
Rivals?
San Diego one with Snick Snag.
Oh my god, you
The
did! Yes, you did, because I replied
yeah, on
onto
red
that
team.
tweet. I replied on that tweet because I was very happy to see
Oh,
the
that
duo
was so
return.
cool.
I
That was
forget, yeah,
crazy.
because that was your first time during an event after the House of Nightmares where you split the money. I remember replying
Yeah.
or retweeting a tweet saying, I'm so glad this team happened. I can't believe I forgot you won that. I'm so sorry. That's
Nah,
insane.
don't worry,
That's so
don't worry.
sick.
It was a test to see if I remembered, and I do.
Exactly.
It was
So,
amazing.
yeah. I guess a question, just a basic question to start off here, is how did you get the name Shadoune666? Where does that come from?
Okay, there's lore. There's lore to this.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a brother who has like 8 years more than me, so he's like 36 now or something. I'm 28. Okay, and he was a gamer. I think that's why I was a gamer really young. And he used to play World of Warcraft. I never played that, but he used to play a lot. Like the typical you enter his room and he's like half naked with like 10 Coca-Cola bottle on the floor.
Got you.
And
Okay.
playing World of Warcraft like 10 hours a day. That was my brother. But he's awesome. I love him. And okay, so he created a demonist account or something on WoW, and he called it Shadoune. I think because like Shadoune, Shadow, you know.
It's a cool name.
It was a girl. It's actually a girl's name, it seems, because
Okay.
the character was a girl. And so then we got a present in Christmas. It was like 2000, I don't know, 8 or something, and we got a PlayStation 3. And it was awesome. And like he was the older brother, so he put his nickname. He put Shadoune. But what happened? Bam! Shadoune was already taken, so he put Shadoune666. So that's actually his name. I just robbed my brother's name because on the Play 3, I actually played more than him because like he was already older, and I played a lot of Call of Duty. Like I played a lot, thousands of hours of Call of Duty, and I was Shadoune666, right? So when I used to like speak on the forums and stuff of Call of Duty because I had a team. We almost made a bit of esports, but not much. And like everybody knew me as Shadoune666. So then when Minecraft came out, when everything came out, well, my name was Shadoune666.
That nearly kind of happened with me. Like
Really?
well, kind of like when I got into playing Xbox a lot more. I had my brother's old name on the Xbox, and I still have it like linked to like FIFA, for example, because it's just always there. Like I've changed the name, but it's still kind of there. But when I got into more like into content creation at this point, I'd already changed my name. Do you know when you join like Call of Duty clans, so you change your name to fit in and be cool and all that kind of stuff? That
I had a
became
clan.
me fairly quickly. So.
Nice. I was like EVS Shadoune666.
So yeah, your name isn't your own. That's so interesting that you kind of. I mean, like it is now, but it's kind of insane that you adapted this name from your sibling, and then now it became your full gig. And I mean, you're a full-time content creator now.
He's jealous. My brother is jealous because now, like, I robbed his name and I'm more famous than him.
Have you copyrighted it so you can't claim it back?
No, it's already over. It's done.
So
I robbed him.
So obviously you said you played a lot of Call of Duty. I kind of did the same. Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, shooting games, all that kind of jazz. Minecraft is quite the switch, right? So where did that come from? How did you go from playing these shooting games to, becoming a full-time Minecraft content creator?
Good question. Well, I think I started Call of Duty with Black Ops 1. I don't know. I think when I started Minecraft, it was very casual, and it wasn't my main game. Like I think I started because my friends, like in my classroom, I had friends who played Minecraft, and I joined their server. I think a lot of people began Minecraft this way. It was like in beta, I think. So there was like a creative server with like plots to build some things, and I had my friend who had OP who just flooded every house with TNT, and that's all. And so we played like 2 days, and that's all. But then, yeah, I knew Minecraft this way. play, and then I started playing alone. And I remember I made an hardcore world, which was amazing because it was like my first Minecraft world, and I died like entering the end because the dragon just punched me in the void. And I used to play like casual, like I used to play more Call of Duty, but I used to like play on my laptop a bit of Minecraft Hunger Games. Like there was the Hunger Games servers, and that's all. And it's only like in when 1.2.5 started that I kind of began to being serious about Minecraft. Like I played with a friend and yeah, and like later on I started creating content like in 2013, so it was like 1.6 1.7 or something.
Well, I mean, looking back at your channel here, the first ever video on your channel is, and I'm gonna try and pronounce this the best I can, typical English, so apologies if it's incorrect. Project Ares PvP Con Musica.
Yeah, and I like.
Okay, that came out Feb 5th, 2014. And also, you have the www.bandicam.com label at the top.
I used to record with Bandicam.
It's kind of insane how far you've come, right, from this video back in 2014. I mean, it's over 10 years now. That's 11 years ago. That's insane.
That's 11 years. That's crazy.
It's mental.
Yeah, and my first videos were like, okay, I have now to tell you all my lore. I think like I have a lore of how I started YouTube because I didn't start it because I just wanted to. I started because my friends were all YouTubers. So my lore is.
I have one quick question,
okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
It won't affect the story. That oldest video on your channel, is that your first actual video, or where's there videos before?
No, I have two how you say, like private videos, which are like 1 year before or a few months before, which is me playing 1v1 against a guy in a Spanish server.
Okay.
I don't even have voice. Like you can hear his voice, but I think I didn't have mic or something, so it's really bad quality video. But
that's fair. All right, let's say the lore. Let's say the Shadoune lore. Here we go.
Okay. The lore. Okay, so in 2012 or 13 or something, I found a server. It was called Public UHC. It was owned by Golden, which I think is like the creator of the UHC plugin and stuff. It was like a small like multiplayer server, but with like how to say, anarchy server.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like there was a spawn where there's no PvP, but all over
a long time. Anarchy server. I haven't heard anyone.
Anarchy server, yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot those existed.
And like you could just get out of the spawn and get your stuff and make your armor, make your potions, and just if you see someone, you just fight and you kill him. And if you die, you get banned like 24 hours or something. And it was like my first server where I was like 8 hours a day farming and killing people. It was so hype. It was UHC. It was like the first I played UHC, so there was no region on, right? And dude, the feelings, it was amazing. And so I used to be like the best player on the server because it was like, I don't know, 2012. Like no one knew how to play, and I just made like strength 2 and kill everyone because it was like OP. And there was two Spanish guys who entered the server for InsideMC and Saiwan. I didn't know, of course, because I was French and I was speaking English on the server to the people. And these guys, they killed the dragon before me when the server resets, and they kill me. They 2v1 me and they kill me. And I was like, wow, that's the first time I die. Like, what happened? And so I talked to them and they told me, oh, we are Spanish YouTubers. So Saiwan had like 20K and InsideMC has like 200K on YouTube. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy, dude. That's a huge YouTuber. Like I had no YouTube channel. So I was just like a random guy, right? And I was like, wow, okay, let me check the channel. So I found his channel. And like a few days later, I found out he was celebrating his 200K on a Spanish server. I didn't know. So I was like, oh, let's go. I will see my friend InsideMC. So I connect to the server. And I'm like, hi, it's me from Public UHC. And he's like, oh, Shadoune, hi, what's up? And he gave me like VIP on the server. And we played together. And I played with Spanish people from the server I didn't know. And it was very fun. There was a game mode called like it was 1v1. And if you die, you leave. But if you win, you stays. and someone else enters, right? So it was called
Oh, is
Rey
it
de la
like?
Pista.
Have you watched WWE, the Royal Rumble? Is it similar to
Oh
that?
yeah, it's like that. It's like
Okay,
that.
nice.
Yeah, it's really a beast bit in Minecraft.
Okay, that's cool.
And
I like that.
so I made actually Spanish friends on the server, and it was really fun. And okay, the lore is there was a team, a PvP team, really famous team in the Spanish community called Angry Lambs, and it was like this team who everybody is looking up to. And all of them were YouTubers. Like they had like between 5K and 10K on YouTube. And it was like, whoa, I wish I was on this team, dude. It's a dream to be on the Spanish team. And as a French guy, I was like, okay, I don't know them, but that's cool. And I actually fought them like in the server, and I won. I won against a few of them because I was really good with a bow. I was really bad with a sword, but I was really good with a bow. And what happened is like the leader of the team, he contacted me for an interview to enter the team, even though I didn't speak Spanish. And I was like, oh, that's crazy, right? And all my friends were like, oh my God, it's your opportunity. You can get on the best team ever. And so I got the interview and I got in. I got in the team.
Oh.
And that's actually how I started learning Spanish, because the leader was like, okay, Shadoune, here we don't speak English, we only speak Spanish. And so I had like to learn Spanish to like communicate. And we had the team was on OCTC, Overcast Network. I don't know if you know it.
I think I've seen
It's like
it somewhere. Yeah.
a famous old server where like all the there was like it was an amazing server because there was like teams against teams. It was a really good like esports Minecraft.
Okay.
And so I entered the team. So I started learning Spanish because of this. And you learn a lot, and you learn really quickly in a competitive situation, because I have to say, okay, on the right there's someone, and I'm like, oh, I have to say it in Spanish. Oh, derecha, derecha. So that's how it all began. And as I said, all on this team, they were all YouTubers. So I was like, oh, me too. I want to try, right? And so the first videos I made was just like playing with them. And that's all. Like the second video, which is called Counter-Strike That Connection, it's just me doing a 1v1 against Counter-Strike, which is still my friend.
Yeah, you played in Fire Battle together, didn't you?
Yeah. We actually live like next to each other now.
That's cool.
And that's amazing because I live in France and he lived in Mexico, right? And now I live next to him after 11 years. And yeah, that was just playing with them. So that's how I started my channel, because they were all YouTubers. And I was like, yeah, I want to try as well. And that's all. That's how I began.
How many of these YouTubers that you met are still around today? Like you said, you bumped into that one with 200,000 subscribers and all that kind of jazz. Are they still making content, or have they all stopped?
Okay, good question. So I have Counter-Strike, which is like one of the biggest Mexican streamer now. I have a Spanish friend who I lived with a bit, which was the leader of the team, which is called Rubik. He doesn't stream anymore, but he does YouTube. He does a lot of YouTube, like Redstone YouTube. There's like almost 1 million on YouTube now. And I have another friend, which is Chris Green, which is an Argentinian streamer and YouTuber. And yeah, like I think that's all my main friends who remains from this team. Oh, and well, InsideMC is still active. We don't play that much anymore, but he's like the most famous Minecraft Spanish guy.
You've been around for like, I mean, I don't want to make you feel old when I say this, but when your first video came out, I was 11 years of age.
What? You're 22?
I'm 22. Yeah.
You're so young.
I know. I thought you was like 24, 25. It's a compliment.
Yeah, dude. You know what? You like. I started YouTube late, like for my age. I started YouTube like at 17, 18. And for today's like context, like, that's pretty late, right? Like people start YouTube at like 14 today.
But you're smashing it, right? Everything comes around. I mean, like on YouTube, you have 740,000 subscribers. On Twitter, you have 1 million followers. Like it's kind of insane, and the longevity of it as well. Like I've brought on all kinds of creators from like in the past and all that kind of jazz. So it's like, I don't know. I've come to realize, and I want to talk about it a little bit later on because I have a few more questions about your YouTube channel. But up until like 2024, like middle 2024, I didn't realize how massive the Minecraft Spanish community actually is. Like it's insane. Or Spanish speaking community, I should say. Sorry. The Minecraft Spanish speaking community is massive. It's insane.
It actually is because, but you know why? Like the main reason is, dude, there are a lot of Spanish-speaking countries and a lot of Spanish-speaking people on the world. So that's just like a lot of people.
Exactly. I want to save it till later though, because I have a question, but I think it'll be better later in the podcast because I don't want to. I don't like mixing stuff up too much, you know.
Yeah, don't worry.
So, kind of continuing the law of your channel here, because I have a few more questions about it. So, I have someone who helps me do research. Their name is Roman. Thank you very much, Roman. I always credit you whenever I mention
Hi, Roman.
Epic UHC began in November 16th. November 2016, right?
Which UHC?
Epic UHC. Probably one of the more, like, consistent series on your channel for its time anyways. I'm trying to find it now.
Oh, Epic UHC, yeah. I forgot about this.
Oh, you forgot. Oh, okay. I was going to ask about it because that's one of the things they brought up as like a main like turning point in your channel. But never mind, if you can't even remember it, that's not the best
Epic
thing.
UHC, that's not that much because I'm just watching and like it doesn't get that many views. Like Epic UHC 5 got like 20K. I have I would say my main UHC series would be UHC Highlights, which was like it's called UHC Highlights, and then I put like a title, and I got like 70 episodes or something. And that's actually how I started my channel because, as I said, I started like recording videos with my friends. They were just like random videos, and then like I played a lot of UHC. And I was like, oh, I want to make Spanish commentary UHC, right? And that's actually like how my channel grew up because I started making. I think I was the first Spanish content creator doing UHC videos, and yeah, that's actually worked well.
What got you into it though? Like I know you kind of referenced it a little bit with the whole like meeting people and stuff like that, but what exactly about UHC content really attracted you to keep making loads of it?
Okay, so I began playing on the public UHC server, as I said, and then I noticed there was a Reddit UHC. So there was a Reddit where people hosted UHC like every day, like a lot of them. And I started playing there. And dude, it was just so fun. It was amazing. Like I have no words for the feeling about being on this community and playing UHCs. And there was like, okay, you FFA UHCs and random team UHCs and I don't know, you go to hell UHC where you have to go to the nether. And like people in this like 10 years ago, like people were so bad. We were all so bad. It was so fun because like anybody could win. Like I could get full iron at the end and just win if I was better. It wasn't like today where UHC, like everybody will get full diamond at the end and Prot 4 and it's just like your PvP skill. Like I love UHC because of the strategy and tactical aspect. I used to go to the nether and try to get poison pots and try to win with invisibility pots. And I was this guy who didn't play with the sword, basically. I was like playing with my pots, with the bow, with everything. And it was full strategy. I loved this so much. And I have like so many UHC videos on my channel, just, I don't know, going to the nether, getting strength 2 and killing the full diamond guy almost naked because strength 2 was so OP. And that's all. I don't know. I have a passion for UHC because I think it's like one of the best game mode because it's like a battle royale, but in Minecraft, right? You spawn, you have to make your stuff, and then you have to fight until you are the only one alive. I think it's like one of the best Minecraft game modes.
It's so interesting to talking to you about your UHC content because when I was growing up, I don't know if you know the group, quote unquote, the Pack. It's like Vicstar, Wolfalls, Beijing Canadian. If you like know any of the names.
I heard. I don't know it. Like I know some of the names, but that's all.
Yeah. So basically, they did like a UHC series as well. But their one was like more casual, I guess. Looking back on it. And then I remember like they got these like really sweaty UHC players in for one season, and it was like the last season they did because like the UHC like people were really try hardy. And I remember watching it like being this just casual viewer on YouTube and like, oh, they're trying so hard. UHC is meant to be fun, but now I've realized over the years, and especially talking to you now, is that UHC was really like competitive, and that's what made it fun. Whereas what I would always watch was like these casual players like spending 40-60 minutes mining to get full diamond armor, and then whereas like you're like going to the nether, getting invisibility pots, strength pots, like, you know.
Yeah, like I would say that getting to the nether and stuff like is a fun part and not prior about UHC. Like okay, it's kind of weird saying like that, but
I get what you mean though. Yeah.
Like when I think about the trial UHC I didn't like, it was like bad lion UHCs. Like you had 100 people, and like after 20 minutes, you don't know how, but half of them have diamond, like full diamonds as a spawn fighting, and they have like 37 gaps. It's just like a 10-minute fight, and it's even not worth to fight because you just waste healing, right? And I stopped playing UHC because of this, because it was just like weird. Like I didn't like anymore how it was played, because I used to play like, I don't know, people were just
You were
like
silly
anyone to
goofy, and
win.
some people took it a bit too seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't my thing anymore when it got like too serious, and when people got so good that everybody got the same stuff at the end. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it anymore.
What about Elite Craft then? Hopefully you remember this one. So
Yeah,
it's
of
another
course, of
name.
course, of course.
As far as I'm
Okay.
aware, and you know, actually, I want you to tell me about it. What was Elite Craft?
Okay, so that's okay. So what I told you before was lore part 1, but now there's lore part 2.
Okay, wait, is this the
Because
final part before I can prepare myself, or is there a part 3 coming later on?
there's
Maybe a part
part
3.
yeah, but like there's no part 3, but like there's part 2.5.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm invested. I love this.
Okay, so until like 2019, YouTube, and yeah, I didn't stream on Twitch almost. So YouTube was always like just a hobby, because I used to make, I don't know, 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, but I never lived or make a lot of money out of it. But then in 2019, InsideMC, the same guy I met in 2013, right? He contacted me and said, look, I'm doing a Spanish SMP server. If you want to come, it's like friendly. It's not PvP. It's just like you make your base, you make your stuff. You know, an SMP, right? And it was really new. Like I never played one. And at this time, it was a time where I didn't play Minecraft anymore. Or I played with the French community actually. Like there was 1-2 years where I only played like the French community, like a lot of UHCs. So I was like out, like my channel was inactive. I wasn't doing anything in Spanish. I had a French girlfriend. Like I had a normal life, really. I had a job, you know. And I was like, sure, okay, I'll get in this server, right? I tried it out because I knew some of my old friends of the Spanish community that were going to be on the SMP. So I started playing, and at first I wasn't playing a lot because I had an engineering job, so I didn't have a lot of time and stuff. But I started noticing that my first videos in my first streams I did about it on Twitch, dude, they were blowing up. Like people loved it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And that's in February 2020, so like 6 months after it began. I was like, dude, I want to play more. I want to make more content. Like it's my opportunity to come back to YouTube. And I started playing every day. I streamed every day on Twitch because I had my friend Countersteen was doing this. He was streaming every day on Twitch, and I saw like he was blowing up so much. I was like, dude, I want to do the same thing. So I started like streaming every day on Twitch. That was so hard because I had to wake up like, I don't know, at 6 to go to my job, and I came back like at 6-7 p.m. and I had a few hours to stream before going to sleep, and I made like 1 or 2 videos a week, and yeah, it blew up, and I got a lot more viewers on Twitch. I got a lot more viewers on YouTube. So EliteCraft was my comeback, let's say. That was my opportunity to live out of creating content. So yeah, that's why it's lore part 2.
What were some of your favorite memories from all of these kind of old contents that we mentioned from like Elite Craft? Do you have any fun memories from that?
Yeah, of course. So EliteCraft had 3 parts. There was 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And it was all between like 2019 and 2022, I guess. It was really great because I never played an SMP, and you get to know the other guys. And Erich MC, the admin, he was making sure there was always a lot of content. So there was like we had to do games for the other people, and there was a war, and I betrayed my friend. There was a lot of drama, and of course it was all for content. But yeah, it was crazy. Like at this time in 2020, 2021, I thought that was normal. I thought, okay, it's normal. I'm waking up, I'm gonna stream EliteCraft and playing with my friends, and that's all on this SMP. And yeah, I noticed, well, when it finished, that yeah, that's normal. Like I didn't. That was an amazing SMP, and I'm happy I played it. I'm happy I played with my friends. But it was, yeah, I didn't know it was like so amazing until it ended. indeed, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like you're in the moment, you're like, oh, this is like, for instance, if I get invited, like events, for instance, like, and we'll get to talking about this soon. Like certain events, they feel so sick, and then you play another event, and you're like, oh, this is still cool, but it's not to the quality of this other event. Like they make it feel so. Because I realized as well with you, and you can correct me here if I'm wrong. I feel like in regards to like quote unquote SMB content, I feel like you haven't really done much outside of EliteCraft. Like you were in the QSMP. As far as I'm aware, you didn't play it loads. Like you were considering you was being there from the start. But it feels like EliteCraft was really what kind of is the only one that's ever really hooked you, if that makes sense. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong here.
Actually, I wasn't on QSMP.
Was you not? I was told you was.
I wasn't, but okay, I never was on QSMP, but there was a lot of Spanish creators, maybe that's why. But I got invited to like the there was a PvP thing after the QSMP that like CPK played. I don't remember. Like the purge thing.
Oh, was you in that?
I almost were. I got invited, but I couldn't play because I was traveling to France to see my family.
Okay, I'm firing Roman because Roman said you was in the QSMP, so I'm firing.
No, I wasn't.
I can only do so much research on someone, sadly. But they sorry, I didn't mean to say you was on QSMP. I thought you were.
No, don't worry.
It's just been a misread somewhere.
I played another series where I team with Quackity. That's might be why. I played one. It was on 2023. It was called Minecraft Extremo.
Okay.
Which was a series, like a hardcore series made by Iron Play, which is like the biggest Spanish streamer out there. He used to have like 100k viewers every day, and he made his like hardcore series, and he invited me, and I teamed with Sprin. You know Sprin maybe a bit.
Yeah, some of these names I've seen just from like, because I believe it or not, although I can't really understand it, whenever you play in like an event that's like in the Spanish community, I lurk a fair bit. So I've seen a lot of the names you've mentioned. I've seen. So maybe I haven't watched their content and I don't exactly know what they do, but I've seen the names you've been referring to.
Okay, so I team like I was a team with Sprin, which is like today is like the biggest Argentinian streamer. I was with Rubius, which is like basically the biggest Spanish streamer, and Quackity. So it was like and Misa. I was with Misa, which is like one of the biggest Mexican YouTubers. Like he has like 20 million on YouTube or something. So that was one hell of the series because I grew so much, of course, because I was like with 4 of the biggest Spanish content creators out there. And yeah, I team with Quaggy, so that might be why people think I play QSMP.
I'm gonna read out exactly what Roman said. I'm calling them out here. Here we go. Given how he was inactive in QSMP despite being a day one player, you weren't on QSMP, so that's probably why you were so inactive, because you wasn't on it.
Dude, if I was on QSMP, dude, I would play the hell out of it. Like,
that's why I was shocked to say it. That's why I was like, wait, that doesn't feel right, but I'm gonna say it because I'm confident. See, this is why I word everything as a question, Shadoune. Remember in our intro I said that I say everything as a question? Yeah. That way then, if I'm genuinely wrong, at least I don't look bad.
I'm watching the participants. Okay, so there was Prince, so the Argentine one. There was Etoile, which is French. IPR, like there was a French team.
There must have just I don't think they mistaked you for anyone else. If I search up like Shadoune666 QSMP on Google, like it shows like a tweet you tweeting about hold up, let's see what it says. I have to translate it. Yeah, I was invited to QSMP's Purgatory 2, but I won't be able to play it. Maybe they just saw that, but then didn't like read the rest of it. Because you tweeted about that on December 16th, 2023. So maybe they saw it, but Sorry?
I was so sad, dude. I got the invitation. I was like, dude, I can't play. And like, yeah, I made this tweet because I was like, I wanted to show, but I got invited because I was really hyped, but I just couldn't play it. That's all.
That's okay. Sorry to make you feel bad if I did.
No, dude. That was like 2 years ago. Don't worry.
Okay. You know what? Events are such a big thing, so we will talk about that. But I guess for the sake of format here, we'll talk about the other thing first because I guess it kind of links in. So something that we mentioned before the podcast that we did want to talk about was the difference in communities. So as I mentioned, a lot over the last few like years, like more so since like halfway through 2024. When I saw like Did Safio Bingo, when I saw like a few English creators like Turbo CPK getting into Spanish speaking events, it made me realize how, and I'll repeat myself here, how massive that community actually is, not from just content creators, but also, sorry, not just from community, but also content creators. And when you look at some of the names as well, and as you've been mentioning here, some of them are massive when it comes to subscriber counts and stuff like that. What is the difference like in communities? Because you've been in both. You're in MCC, you're in Buy and Battle, you're in all these like Minecraft tournaments. You're now on an English podcast, so you obviously dabble within the English side of the community, despite being a primarily Spanish content creator. What's the change in between them? Because I feel like there is one, right?
Dude, there's so much difference. I don't know how to begin. Like, okay, so I'm French, so of course I'm not like I'm not like Spanish speaking, right? So I will say something wrong.
Yeah.
But I've been playing in the Spanish community since like 2013, and yeah, I think there's a lot of differences. One of them, which I like to speak about, is I think the Spanish content space there's not that much space for like try-hard creators. Like okay, so you see in the English-speaking community. And I'm not speaking about Minecraft, I'm just speaking in general. Like, you will see streamers like Shroud or like Ninja. Well, Ninja is, okay, like Shroud, which people are following more because he's like really good at the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, like people like his personality and stuff, but there are streamers who just are really good at the game and you will watch him because he's really good at the game. Well, I feel like it's not really the case in the Spanish community. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of really good players in the Spanish community. And that's because if you want to be a content creator, it's more important, way more important to like be fun and be funny and make like lots of jokes and like, make a character out of you than just playing well. And I think that's like, for example, for me, dude, I like playing well. I like being competitive. I love events because I can try to be competitive, right? And I feel like that's not something that works so much in the Spanish community compared to the English community. For example, dude, I want speedrun to be hype in the Spanish community, but people are not interested into speedrun. Like, all the speedrun streamers are really, really little. There's only really, really small streamers in the Spanish community of MCSR or speedrun because it's not something people enjoy. People will watch just a guy, I don't know, make like be bad at the game rather than be good, you know? So that's a big difference. And I think that's why, in part, dude, the Spanish community is really for competitive events, dude, we are really bad. We're really bad compared to English players, English community players. Like, if you see a speedrun event or PvP event or MCC event, dude, these guys are crazy. Like, Feinberg, he just gaps us all. So yeah, there's a competitive difference, and also there's like a community difference. Like, I feel like people will get cancelled really easily in the English community, as in the Spanish community, maybe like do something wrong, and it's okay if it's not like
a little bit more lenient on second chances. Whereas like I realize that in the English community, and it's not in a bad way, and I'm not saying this to anyone specifically, but I feel like sometimes people can be a little bit too harsh on how quickly they go against someone. Does that make sense?
Dude, like, I know like half my friends, like half the Spanish streamers would get cancelled in the English community for things they said, things that they've done. Like, actually, like it can be like kind of weird for me, or can be hard for me to, when I invite I love to invite Spanish players to play English events, right? Like, I want to make a Spanish team in MCC. I want to make a Spanish team in Block Wars. I kind of organized like a Block Wars Hispano, what was Block Wars with only Spanish streamers. And I love like to mix the two communities because in both they have amazing things. Like English events have MCC, they have Block Wars, they have such good events. But in the Spanish community, there's like Desafío Bingo, which maybe it doesn't work that well, but dude, it's awesome seeing 200 players fight for 100k on a bingo. Like, there's nothing like this in the English community. So I love like to mix them, right? So we have like Firebird and Kuiway in Desafío Bingo, and I invite like Aquino and Sprint to MCC or something like that. But dude, like, already 2 of my friends who are invited to English events already got cancelled in the English community.
And in the MCC, I remember watching it, the MCC too.
I'm not saying they're wrong. Like, of course, it's logical. It makes sense. But yeah, I think the Spanish community is way more chill about this, about maybe these topics. It's kind of like how to say, kind of drama, you know. But yeah, like I feel like Spanish community is way like chill. I don't know. I as a French guy, you know, I couldn't. I know how to explain it. I know why it's like this. But
I guess I kind of want to say my perspective from the
okay.
English side, I guess, and kind of with the podcast, I've dwelled into so many different communities, and I've heard and talked to so many different people now. It's like I feel like can have a bit of a say on this. First thing, when in regards to talking about the events, I've noticed a lot that the mini games events like MCC, Block Wars, Bind Battle, Mayhem, all that kind of jazz, they are more English speaking, or like, well, they're English events, I guess. I'm gonna put this basically, you know what I mean. Anyone listening, you know what I mean when I say this. They're like quote unquote English events, but then the events are like really high tech, quote unquote again high tech, that are like, you know, the 200 players, the I'm trying to think of some off my head, like the Squidcraft games, that's Spanish, that's Desafio, that's Spanish. Like they go for more like days worth of events, this big production, and then in the English community they go for more monthly events, 3 hour a month events, mini games, if that makes sense. That's my first part. Secondly, into the thing, I think it's just a cultural difference. I know that's putting it really basically. I think like it's, you know, like you said, and like I mentioned, and how we said we understand why it's the case, is like when it comes to the English community, they aren't really as forgiving. Like if something happens to a creator, or they do something, or they slip up, or they do something they don't mean to, or they regret doing, like people are really, really hard, and it takes a lot of time to give them second chances. Whereas I think the Spanish community are so like, when I'm playing in an event, right? If I'm doing well near the end of the event, my viewer count will go up because people want to watch the winning perspective. The people who finish in the top 5 of that event will always, for the most part, average the most viewers because people want to watch the best players, right? So they're just kind of watching who's good. When it comes to the Spanish community, because like you mentioned, not everyone's crazy good, everyone kind of does really, really well viewer count wise because they're all kind of watching for personality as opposed to how good you are at the game. So I think like sometimes I feel like the Spanish community, from what I've seen, is a little bit more connected in a sense, as opposed to like who they watch and who they share viewers with. Like obviously that sometimes has its upsides, it sometimes has its downsides. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but you get the idea. Like everything has its upsides and downsides. But I think that's why the difference is there, is because the Spanish community can be a bit more forgiving because they're more of like watching people for their personality. So if someone messes up, they're like, oh, fix it, you know, but we forgive you. Whereas opposed to like the English community, yeah, it's kind of connected, but from InsideMC, I've realized it's also can be really, really split as well. Sorry, it took me ages. I hope that makes sense. I want to be careful with what I say because I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking anyone or talking bad about anyone, but at the same time, I wanted to get my point across. So
I think you're right about the connection between communities. Like I feel like the Spanish community is really, really, really connected because like there are so many big events, like 100 player events, where you meet a lot of people and you just, I don't know, if there's a lot of Minecraft events and just like everybody in the Spanish community plays Minecraft. Like even the biggest streamer will be in the Minecraft series of the Minecraft SMP. So like everybody know each other, I think, and almost everybody played with each other in the Spanish community. Like for example, I don't play Fortnite, but I got invited to a Fortnite event because I'm a big. I got invited to a Roblox event. I got invited to Rust events. Like everybody plays a bit of everything, I think, in the Spanish community. Anyways, like for example, there's not that many maybe full Minecraft streamers like in the English community because we're more like variety streamers, like everyone. Like of course I'm a Minecraft streamer, but like I might be the most Minecraft streamer of the Spanish community. But yeah, everybody plays a lot of events. Everybody pretty connected. I think everybody is like, you are kind of chill with each other, and maybe like it's, I don't know, I think
a little bit more
it's pretty hard to get it's pretty hard to get cancelled because I don't know. I think it's all cultural differences, but it's sometimes it's kind of difficult to make the point across that there are actually really big cultural differences, and because something which is okay in Latin America maybe will be very, really crazy and cancelled in United States, and it's okay. It's like that. But maybe
it even comes down to words sometimes. Like some words in, like, I'm not speaking specifically Spanish or English here, but I've seen like some words in certain languages just be like, picked up badly from a different language. I know, like, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe you might know, but I know there's like a word in Spanish that in Portuguese is actually like offensive, or not offensive, but like is just a bad word or something, or vice versa. I just know there's something around those lines. So like even in like big language differences, like something that I might say in English referring to something, if I translated it, could be offensive in a different language or vice versa. So it even comes down to that as well. And I just think like people don't always like. I mean, some things are bad. Like again, I'm not gonna say any examples like from English creators. Like some things that people do are obviously very bad, but at the same time, there's some things that are just a misunderstanding or something that someone did wrong, and like they regret it and they apologize. But sadly, some communities aren't too forgiving with that.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I'm kind of scared, like because I'm with the Spanish community, of course. Like it's my home, but I love playing with the English community, right? And sometimes, like, dude, if I do some things that okay, so I have an example. Okay, you know Kick,
The streaming platform,
right? Yeah, the streaming platform. Okay, as I understand, in the English community, Kick is really, really, really bad, like seen as a really bad platform for a lot of reasons. And dude, in the Spanish community, Kick is buying everyone. Like half of the Spanish community is in Kick already. Like I actually, like, all of my friends are on Kick, and I didn't want to go to Kick because I was like, dude, I know, like, I don't know, like maybe if I go to Kick, maybe like they won't invite me to MCC, or maybe they won't want to play anymore because in the English community it's seen it's really
a bad thing,
really bad thing. But like in the Spanish community, it's okay. Like everybody goes there because in Twitch, in the Spanish community, people don't earn as much money. Like, for example, if one Latino guy subs to you, you earn like $1 or less. So, and there's not that many ads. So people just don't earn that much as before on Twitch. So people now go to Kick, and there's no ads on Kick. So viewers love it. And now I'm like on Twitch, and there's like a lot of players, a lot of people in my chat saying, "Oh, dude, you have to come to Kick. Like everybody's here." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. What do I have to do?" Because, and it's kind of I've got this debate like in the last few months, because I swear like most of my friends are on Kick already. But I know how it is. So sometimes I have this kind of like issues where I'm like, of course, if I didn't play like any English speaking events, but I wouldn't care about the English community. I would just go to Kick and that's all. But dude, I like to play on Twitch rivals, of course. I want to keep making content on Twitch because
you want to play these mini games events as well.
Dude, I love Twitch. I love MCC Twitch rivals. It's like I live to play in-person events. So yeah, there's these differences sometimes, which is kind of hard to manage. I'd say sometimes you don't know what's the best decision is. Because I have to think about my morals, but I have to think about my career. I have to think about my future. I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to mention this kind of struggle, I guess, to try to be in both communities at the same time. Sometimes it's weird.
I mean, the thing is, I can half relate. I'll explain why. It's like with the podcast, I bring on a wide range of people, right? And a lot of the time on the podcast, I like to talk about my feelings. The only issue is, and you've kind of seen it with like you've probably heard it with the podcast today, is I've really not backtrack, but I really talk over my words a lot if I get into a topic that like I'm overthinking. Like when we was talking about the whole like cancel and all that kind of stuff, and even this conversation here. Like I'm so careful with what I say because I also don't want my words to be misinterpreted or someone to come back and hear it and be like, oh, this guy hates people, and it's like I don't want it to be misinterpreted that way. And I feel like I can relate. And I think a lot of content creators, even if they won't say it publicly, and I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone here, I feel like there's a few content creators who can also relate with this. It's like not the wanting to stream on a different platform. I understand where you're coming from, but the whole like being really careful, like on streams now, like you have to. I mean, not everyone does it, and I don't always do it, but you have to really kind of think before you speak. On the podcast, for example, like, I've had to be really careful with who I invite. I have to do severe background checks before I get someone on the podcast just to make sure I'm bringing on someone who is like, all right. And I know that's normal anyways, because I only want to bring on people who are positive and all that kind of jazz. Like, obviously talks like this are completely fine, but you get the idea. But when I'm doing it now, when I talk about topics like this, I really, really long them out just to make sure that they're coming off as like I'm just talking, as opposed to I'm shit talking people, because I feel feel like people can really misinterpret that and really take it the wrong way if they hear a certain word being said or a certain sentence being said. Like, I don't want it to seem targeted when it's just a general consensus or whatever the word is. So like with the streaming on
sometimes
Kick thing, I understand.
you have to be really careful. But I mean, like that's something like I feel in the English community, dude, you have always to be like really careful about your words and what you're saying. Of course, it's like natural, right? Like you won't say stupid things on purpose, but
you have
like,
to think
dude,
a bit more about it.
I swear, in the Spanish community, you say whatever you say whatever, and you just can't get cancelled. It's just yeah, I don't know. I mean, like
I think it's
there's a difference
there.
there.
Difference, yeah.
I mean, I hope I won't get any problems for saying all I said. I'm just like I'm on a podcast. So I'm here to talk, so I'm just talking about my
realistic.
things.
We're having a conversation. You're not exactly turning around and going, "Yeah, I 100% want to move to Kick. Screw you guys." You haven't said that. You haven't told the English community to go screw themselves. You haven't said anything like that. You're just talking about your feelings, which I think is completely fine and completely warranted. Because it is a talk. It is a talk to be had, and it's like why part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on as well, because like different, like, you know, just different things, and because you're one of the only people who really quote unquote bridged the gap as well, if you think about it. I mean, there's a few other creators, I guess, but you're the only one who's really in both communities. So for you, like you've mentioned there, it must be really hard to balance going from like streaming MCC in Spanish with a full Spanish team where you can say whatever you want really, to then streaming MCC with an English team, and you're like, crap, that call out that I made last time, I have to be a bit more careful with how I word it this time.
Well, I won't say bad because I don't know, like it's MC, I just play Minecraft and I
was using MCC as an example. Like it goes for anything, but you get that. I was just using that specific. I didn't mean MCC in specific. I just meant it as an example because you had a full Spanish.
Yeah, but like actually I got kind of cancelled once because of one tweet I answered. Like English community canceled me for this, and it was like I don't know. Like it was crazy because I didn't even do the let's say bad tweet. Like I just answered it, and like for me it was crazy. They tried to cancel me for this. But yeah, I wanted to let's say talk my feelings out because like I think it's a great opportunity to talk about this because it's a podcast that English people will see. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic. Of course, it's a bit like maybe polemical. How to say polemical? Like drama topic. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really too sure of the word myself. If I'm being honest. Political, is that what you're going for?
No, like
It's just a bit of a
controversial topic.
Yeah, I couldn't even.
It's a bit controversial, but like I feel like it's good to hear really what I think, my feelings about this, and that really there's differences that can be massive between communities, and I love playing with both communities. But it's really different.
It's really rough sometimes. I'm glad you brought it up. I hope you're satisfied with the talk as well. I hope I've been good at like responding and adding my thoughts as well. Like I hope like you turn around and been like, yeah, I'm happy I talked about that, and I hope I've kind of contributed to it in the way you were looking for. Hopefully. But no, yeah.
I don't know. I like speaking about my feelings, and I think it's a good opportunity.
Great job, Shadoune. Okay, I love your content, even though I again sadly don't really understand it. I lurk in your streams a lot. Hold up, let me check. Let me check chat. I have
how many points?
I'm about to tell you. Give me 1 second. Bearing in mind, I haven't known you. Do you have a follow age command? Hold on, I'm gonna type in your chat so I can just say.
Yeah, I do.
I've been following you since January 21st, 2024. And I have 35k channel points.
Wow, that's actually a lot.
So it's not crazy amounts, but considering I don't understand a word you're saying, I think it's fairly decent.
That's really good, actually. That's really good.
So we kind of touched on Minecraft events there in that entire talk. Thank you again for that talk, by the way, Shadoune. It was really, really nice. And like for anyone listening, just keep in mind that this was just a general talk. Like I will just say this as like a thing. We are just talking. It's the same when I bring people on and we do like mental health chats and all this kind of chats. We are just having a conversation at the end of the day. So feelings are feelings. But speaking of events,
yeah, I think.
You're gone. Sorry, I'll let you go.
I was gonna say, I think this podcast is a good opportunity to talk about this, about my feelings about this, and I think it's something new, something that a lot of people don't notice the differences, this kind of thing. And yeah, as a player who plays both in Spanish and English events, I think it's interesting.
Actually, question, because I just realized we didn't bring it up. What's the French community like? I feel like we haven't really talked about it at all.
Okay, I think the French community is more like the English community because I see a lot of like more competitive events and like things like that. But there's something really funny with like in the French Minecraft community, dude. They still play UHC, dude. Like my Minecraft French friends, like it's been like 10 years. He's making the same content, and it's like UHC. And it's like it's like themed UHC, like for example, anime UHC, like I don't know, My Hero Academia UHC, and like everybody has role, like you get the main character and you have a power, and you get the other guy and you have a power, and like dude, it works really well, and they still play this, so that's crazy because I know in the English and Spanish community, like dude, no one plays UHC anymore. It was Hoplite, and like that's all. So yeah, French community is still on UHC. That's amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, I just realized in the entire sport talk, because obviously you are French born. I've been to Paris twice, you know. Random mention. So I went to TwitchCon Paris.
Okay.
But we only did a round trip. It was really interesting. So we got the Eurostar in at 6 a.m. in the morning. So got to Paris and then got the Eurostar at 8 p.m. home at night from Paris. But we wanted to experience the city and get like a rundown of what we were doing. So a month before TwitchCon Paris, we did the exact same thing where we went on the Eurostar on the Monday and came home the same day. I thought it was quite nice. We went to the Eiffel Tower and stuff. It wasn't really my vibe per se, but it was a very nice city. And we enjoyed it. And we went to this like tiny little cafe, maybe like a 30, because we walked the entirety around like Paris. So we walked from the Eiffel Tower all the way down the river. We accidentally went up what was apparently the most dangerous street in Paris. We didn't even realize.
I mean, if you're inside Paris, you'll be fine. It's
Google being Google is more what I'm getting at there. Do you know when you search stuff, if you go to like London, like the most dangerous street in London, and if I live here, it's like, oh, that's not really actually that dangerous. It's just what Google's saying. That's according to Google, it was apparently one of the most. But we were fine. We walked up it completely fine, no issues. We didn't even notice until after we Googled it and was like, oh, funny.
Dude. I swear, I think the worst street in Paris might be safer than the best street in Mexico or something.
wait, where? Sorry?
I said, I guess the most dangerous street in Paris, I guess, is safer than the most safe street on Mexico.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I thought you were saying it's a certain street. No, I get you. Wait, like Mexico, like, I mean, you've been in Mexico for 2 months now, right?
Yeah, I live there, since 2 months ago.
And you've been enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really fun. As I'm like in a private neighborhood basically, so it's like really safe and stuff.
Okay.
But like I have a nice house and the rent is really low. So that's but I have good ping. That's the most important thing.
That's the only thing you care about. You can have a one singular bed like room house where everything is done in one room. As long as you have good ping, that's all that matters.
Dude, I don't know how to decorate. I don't know anything about houses. Dude, I have my setup and I'm happy with this.
Fair enough, honestly. I feel like
if I can stream and make content, I'm happy. That's all.
That's good though. It's so easy, huh? So easy to please Shadoune. All you have to do is have good Wi-Fi. There you go.
Yeah. Good internet, please.
Right, events. Because I feel like we kept hinting and talking about the project, the topic, and then we moved on. So I kind of want to talk. I don't really want to talk about the mini game events because like I feel like I do that all the time. I brought on so many event players and we talked about MCC and Buy and Battle and Block Wars and all of that. So that's such a general conversation on the podcast. Obviously, if you want to bring it up afterwards, feel free to. I'm happy for you to if you want to say anything. But I want to talk about the Spanish events or the quote-unquote Spanish events. So like Desafio, Squidcraft, Desafio Bingo. I know like there's been a few of them, and there's always like money on the line and stuff like that. What like I don't really know how to word this. I kind of just want to hear you talk about it. Why are they so insane? Like good insane. Like they're like so the production quality, the things that are happening, the originality. Like mini game events. I love them. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there's a lot of the same similar games and stuff. But every time there's a new Spanish event, they're all so different, or like they have their little quirks. Like why are they so cool? If you can answer that, I just kind of want to hear you talk about it.
That's a hard question. Like, like if you think about English events compared to Spanish events, I feel like Spanish events are like huge shows, like Squid Game, like 5-game events where 5-day events with 100K, and like the Desafio Bingo, which was I think 200 players. And yeah, compared to MC, which is like 40 players, that seems small, right? I
Yeah.
think, okay, well, Spanish, okay, I'm trying to find a good answer.
Sorry, I don't mean
I
to.
think
Okay,
like,
okay, basically, okay. Instead of doing this, how about you just talk
no,
about
I have a good
events?
answer, I think.
Oh, you have one? Okay, all right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I think like so many like Spanish content creators, and there's, as you said, like there's some huge ones with a lot of numbers, and I think there's more people in the Spanish community trying to make events, and well, the really big streamers, well, they do really big events, like because I don't know, they have the money, or they have the, I don't know, they partner with Twitch rivals to try to get a 100k event. And I think also it started with Squid Game, which was the first really big event. And yeah, from there, I think, you know, like we have the bar is set really high. So like also streamers have to make really big events now also. And we have El Dead, which is a Mexican streamer who make also desafios. And this guy is awesome. Like he really likes to make events. He likes to give to the community. He tries to do his best. And also we have two really good how do you say, like studios, like studios who makes events. And I feel like in the English community, there's not like one big studio who makes a lot of events and which is really known. When in the Spanish community, there's Eufonia, which is a really big Spanish speaking studio. And like they are known, like they're like really famous for having because they made all the Desafío, they made all the Squid Games, and because of that they have this fame. So like big streamers contact them to do more events. So like they have a lot of already experience to make really really big events, because basically this studio does all the big events now. So yeah, I guess that's the difference. Like there's a few studios that are really known in the Spanish community and they have already experience. And I feel like that's not something that exists in the English community. Like if I want to do an event, like who do I contact? I don't have any names. Like maybe Noxcrew, right? But I already have MCC. Like I think they're busy. I don't know. Like Euphonia really it's known like because all content creators work with them.
I think there's a few events that have come close, or like few, like I know like Rave Station, for example, does like event stuff. Like there's nothing crazy. They don't have like crazy funding behind them, or I mean I won't speak on their behalf, so I don't know. But like they like do stuff like that, kind of similar. But I get what you mean. Like if you want to run this like Hispanic event, if there's a random cut, don't worry about it. I think with like what you were saying with the whole event stuff is like also if you want to, like you mentioned how you did the Hispanic block wars and stuff. If you want to run an event within like an English event, quote unquote, like made by English creators, you kind of have to use the mini game that they've already made. You can't really hire someone or like hire a group of people to make something for you. I guess you could, but then like I don't know, I guess it's just different, right? Like you kind of just, it's a bit easier just to collab with the already mini game. Like Block Wars is just Block Wars, or like I guess it does come under Capola but still like Buy and Battle is just Buy and Battle, and MCC is just MCC, you know?
Yeah, I guess, well, for example, for House of Nightmares, well, I guess they contacted like developers, right? Like the studio to make the event. Well, it didn't went really well, but yeah, that was a new event. But I mean, in the Spanish community, it's so easy to make a new event. Like for example, I wanted to do a Splatoon in Minecraft, like a whole event with teams and stuff. And I just connected one studio, and I gave them X dollars, and that's all. And we made it. And that was really cool. Like I think there's the English community, it's not that easy to make a new event, right?
Yeah.
Maybe because it's really expensive as well.
It's pricey, and like you can sometimes get people to do volunteer work. Like it is nice, but then also you just feel bad like asking an artist or asking a builder to put all that time and effort in without being paid. It's like it just feels bad asking, kind of thing. I think, which also doesn't.
Like maybe there's a thing where in the Spanish community it's cheap enough for every streamer to be able to host events, and also I think the Spanish community it's already accepted that events can have problems, and it's okay if it doesn't work, and it's okay if it's not like really fair, and sometimes people get mad, but you know, like there's a lot of problems in all of the events. Maybe in the English community, like there's such good events like MCC Block Wars that like never glitches, never have a problem. Maybe like it's scarier like to make your event. I don't know. And like people just follow, I think, the MCC format when they should like make more random like 100 player events, like, you know, Picaclicks.
Yeah, even previous
okay.
events.
Yeah, so he made like really crazy events. I've played a few, and is amazing because I think like he hosts really different events, right? But I feel
Yeah.
like he's kind of the only one who tries to make stuff which is different than MCC.
I just got what's it called? I have really cool ideas. I just got to build a team because I have no experience. Like, so I won't say what it is. It's not a Minecraft event, but me and a good friend of mine, Dijon, who does like dev work, we're working on a very, very big project, Shadoune. I am very, very excited for it. I can't say too much. I can't say anything about it actually, but let's just say it's going to be really, really cool. I'm very excited for it. You'll see. You'll see when the time comes.
Okay,
I'll send it to you.
I'm hyped. You'll tell me. You'll tell me.
Who knows? Maybe I'd love to get you involved in it. You'll see. But with like the events that you was mentioning with peak clicks and stuff like that. In regards to just events overall, what are some of your favorite memories? Like this is any events that you've played on. Do you have any like things that as soon as I mentioned came to mind?
Well, I think I would say Squid Game in first because dude, I was in the finals of Squid Game 2 against Sapnap. That was crazy. Like for those who don't know, Squid Game 2 was like a 100k 6-day event, and I got in the final in 1v1 against Sapnap, and it was 100k for the first player and 0 for the second.
Oh jeez.
And I lost. I lost to like
no.
1 or 2 hits or something. Like it was weird. Like, it was such like because there was a semi-final where you go to 20 players to 2 players, and like what was such a crazy and surreal moment, like realizing that you got the 10% chance and you got to the final actually when there's 100k and like everybody sees you. And that was actually that's my lore number 3. Let's say that, because that's in 2023 I grew so much because of Minecraft Extremo, which I told you with like Wakiti, and this event. That was how I grew. I grew like, dude, I broke records. I think I grew like 1 million followers in like 1 year or something on Twitch. And I got, on these finals, I got 700,000 viewers.
Jesus. Fair play.
And that was like, of course I lost, but it was such crazy surreal moment. And of course I grew a lot and I got a lot of fame because of it. So I mean, I got lucky, I guess, even though I lost. But it was, I don't know, it was just crazy. And like the feels to get into the finals, the feels to lose. Like, how do you feel when you just lose to the final of a 100k event? Like, dude, I just cried all night. There was nothing. I don't know. I'd say it was the craziest memory I would get in an event, because
I think that's the rough thing about events like this, right? Though, like, it's cool having this big prize. But realistically speaking, I feel like they should be split between the top 20 players. Even if placing in the top 20 only gets you like $100, like I feel like it should kind of reward you a little bit, so you're not left in that situation where, like, for instance, I believe I have 2 good memories from you from my perspective. So one of them is Hunt and Run, if you remember.
Yeah, dude, 100 is awesome. I was gonna say 100 as well.
Yeah, that was really sick to watch. I was more of like a Fruit Berries watcher for that, if I'm honest, but like watching like throughout was really great. And like even that was only a 100k for the win. You came 5th in Hunt and Run, I believe. 4th, 5th.
Yeah, I was in the finals.
You were like the final 2 teams before they did a free for all.
Like there was 3 teams left. That was the Spanish team, so there was us. Like we were 3. There was the Samnap team, and there was a Timers team.
Yeah.
And basically we tried to fight when both of we tried to third party and tried to clean up the fight, and it didn't work. It didn't work fine, and we just got destroyed. But dude, this event was amazing. And you know why? You know that they can't make a second edition because of the weapons in Minecraft. Like, yeah, I think Mojang says like you can't have weapons in Minecraft now. No, yeah, so like they just can't make a second edition. But dude, it was amazing. Like, this event, I think, was, I would say, the best event in the Spanish community because it worked well. You know, there's a lot of problem in Squid Game, in Desafio Bingo. You will always see Feinberg make like a 3-page feedback about all the problems. But dude, this event was good. They had a little problems, but it was really hard. Like, it was the best Hunger Games I never played. Like, there was actually like a huge map. There was weapons. You could craft weapons. There was like an X-ray thing you could put on your rifle at the end and see between buildings. Like, man, that was like, that's what you say. Like, Spanish events can be like so unreal compared to English events, I guess. And dude, I want to see English events like this. Like, please, people, organize something.
There's
because
also
it's so awesome.
Another memory that will always kind of sit in my heart as well, that includes you, is the House of Nightmares, the refusal between you and Sneak Snag, where like you both make finale and you just refuse to like go any further. It was quite painful to watch, I'll be honest. It was a good event and good idea. It was a tad painful painful to watch. But like it was a really sweet moment watching you both do that, and then you go and team in MCC Live and win. It was like it's an insane story.
Dude, that's lore. That's lore.
That is lore.
We split and we won MC together. I mean, so it was weird. Like House of Nightmares was weird because like there was good things, but there were a lot of bad things. And like every day it was like, okay, let's play this event, let's play these events, but we know there was gonna be a lot of problems. And then I got to last day and there was a minigame with the key, and I qualified. That was amazing. But then like I really glitched and there was 4 players qualified, and I won against Feinberg, even though dude, like Feinberg just got like unlucky basically and all kind of glitched. It wasn't clear. They gave me the win.
Yeah, I remember.
So I was like super hyped. There was a bit of drama because like Feinberg, like he was gonna hit it, but like it kind of lagged and he didn't, and I won because of that. And even though Feinberg, he played like way better than me, I felt sorry for him because, and of course, like he got mad on Discord a bit, right? Because dude, he just lost
money
maybe 100k, like, and like, but dude, I got qualified to the final against Sneakstag. It was so weird because it was like, it's so amazing to be in the final and to split with Sneakstag, but like the event was so weird. There were so many problems that there wasn't that hype anymore. Like I know there was so much money, but the event like wasn't hype anymore because there was so much long time. Like we were here for like 8 hours the final day, and there was so many problems and so much drama with Sabnap and Feinberg in the finals, and I don't know, it was just too much. And I'm so happy we did this with Sneakstag because it's like the only really good memory, it's a really good thing I think we can remember from this event. Yeah. So I'm really glad we did this with Sneakstag.
Do you have any other fun event memories?
There was something we didn't talk about, which is important for me, which is Permadeath, which is it's a series that was between Elitecraft 1 and 2.
Okay.
And I think that's because I said I was known from Elitecraft 1, but actually like I got really known because of this series. Permadeath was like a hardcore series, a hardcore SMP, where if you die, you just get out of the series, and that's all. And end of the day, there's no like second life, there's no revive. You're just gone. And it was the first hardcore series at this time, and dude, it was amazing. Like you can see, I think I'm really passionate about like events and things, and that was crazy. Like I actually got like, I think from 200 viewers to like 1,000, 2,000 viewers on Twitch because of this event, of this series. And I think it was the best thing that happened to me. It was such a good series. It was so simple. It was just Minecraft Vanilla SMP with a few events, but if you die, you just die. And people were like, no one was really tryhard at this time. Like no one played 10 hours of Minecraft every day. Like no one knew everything. And dude, Permadeath, it has a place in my heart.
Was that also the one where like, if wasn't there an SMP you played, and I could be misremembering here, that you played where like if you died or something, you had to do challenges in real life?
Oh yeah, okay. That's I played this. That's a crazy thing I think to note from my channel. Yeah, but I had a Mexican friend who made a small series, and yeah, if you died, you had to make like they had to agree to a dare or a challenge so you could play again. And there was shots or something involved.
Oh god.
Or there was a dance. I think I had to dance or something.
I bet you're a great dancer.
Dude, I hate dancing. I'm dude, now I go to the gym and I actually have a box match in August.
Oh.
Against the Peruvian creator. Yeah, that's random. That's really random. But before February, dude, I never went into a gym. Like now I train like once a day, but before all this box like thing, I never went into a gym in all my life. Just imagine. I was like skinny.
I want to run this back to the boxing. You're having a boxing fight?
Yeah, I'm boxing, guys.
What's this for?
In August 2nd, there's like there's this big Peruvian streamer which is called Sane on Kick, and he's making a box event. Like I don't know, like I think you saw like some night was against Hugo, and I know in the Spanish community it's pretty known because actually the biggest Twitch event actually is a Spanish boxing event from eBay. And it got like 3 million viewers in the last 2 years. So it's pretty well known.
I was actually at TwitchCon. I believe that was showing at the start of Twitch.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm fighting in Peru against a Peruvian streamer, and we're gonna about.
I don't know if this is related. Sorry if I've just like misheard this completely.
Don't worry.
I'm watching on TikTok right now a matchup of you against someone called Gloglocking.
Yeah, that's him. Gloglocking.
That's the fight you're doing. Oh, so you've already done like the matchup and everything. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, like I was in Peru like in in February, so we made the
2nd of
presentation.
August, yeah.
And dude, that's high because during February I weighed, how to say, I used to weigh like 61, 62 kilos.
Okay.
And now I weigh like 72. Like I got 10 kilos in like 4 months.
I
so
believe
that's cool.
in you. I'm rooting for you, Shadoune.
Yo, I'm tryharding. Like, dude, it's hard to like play Minecraft and like train every day and stuff. But because, dude, I can't just go to the gym and go to the box and just make it a day, dude. I can't not play Minecraft. Like, there's these days there's Desafio speedrun, which is like once a week. There's you have to make most points by doing achievements, advancements on Minecraft. There's like there's Fimer, there's Kuriway, there's not Kuriway, but there's Fimer. There's a lot of people on the MCSR community, and it's so fun. And I have to train for this. I have to watch Feinberg's VODs to train, and like I have no time because I have to train twice a day. But it's amazing. It's really cool to see that my body is changing and actually getting weight. And I'm actually having a normal body now instead of being really skinny.
In January, and it wasn't like a New Year's thing. It was just what I was doing. I got really into the gym at my old job.
Nice.
So I was a gym in the job, but sadly, when I left that job, like all the gyms in my area are like either really small or really busy. Whereas this one was in the building and only for people who work there. So made it really nice. When I left, like I joined a new gym, but it didn't really it wasn't the best.
Dude,
because
it's not the same.
Like the private gyms are nice, but it's kind of crazy as well. Like we've met twice now in person, but both times we haven't really talked much. In 2024, we met at the MCC after party, quote unquote after party.
Okay.
Where I came up to you and said a quick hello, and then we met at TwitchCon this year, where we got a picture that I still need you to send to me because you haven't sent it. I forgot to ask.
Yeah, I will. Okay, do I want you to send on Discord or something?
Yeah, well, whenever. You don't have to. You can just.
Okay, you have to put this picture on the podcast.
Okay. You know what I'll do? Because I don't like. Because the thing is, we have Spotify listeners as well that can't see like visual.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll add the picture of us together in the tweet, so people will have no context because they'll be like, wait, why is there an extra picture?
Nice.
He never does this. So there'll be like our thumbnail picture, and then there'll be the picture of us standing next to each other. How's that sound?
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually looking for the picture right now.
There's no rush if you can't find it. Whenever you find
I will find it. Of course I will find it.
But it was so cool because I basically was sitting in waiting for MCC, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I walked out and I was like, wait, Shadoune. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go over and say hello. So we got to say quite a little quick hello.
Yeah, the thing is, I saw you, I didn't recognize you. And InsideMC podcast, I was like, oh, let's go.
That happens so much, don't worry, because I've only just really started putting my face out, so all I have to turn around, like literally I went up to so many people like, hi, I'm Orbit, and like, hi, and I'm like, I'm InsideMC, and they're like, way. Like the whole thing changes. So
okay, I have a question. Now I'm interviewing you.
Please go
do you
ahead.
do you think there's a lot of creators watching your podcast, or is it like the same percentage that other podcasts, let's say? Because I think like a lot of Minecraft creators love to watch your podcast.
So funny because like okay. This might be a bit of a long-winded answer. Apologies, but I've got to answer it in full here. So with InsideMC, I remember talking to someone about this last year at TwitchCon. We were like chatting, and they kind of said the same thing. They more like answered it and questioned it at the same time. With like one thing that people are always shocked when they see InsideMC is the guests that I've had on. For example, like when I announced you as a guest, a lot of people were like, oh my god, you got Shadoune on. That's so cool. I'm like, well, Shadoune, nice. I know you didn't really you kind of did. You messaged me first about the podcast. I was like, I wanted to invite you, but I wasn't sure that you were interested until you messaged me complimenting it, and I was like, okay, I'm inviting you on because this is the perfect opportunity because I've wanted you on for a long time. So like when people saw like you get announced, for example, they were shocked. They were like, oh my god, you got Shadoune on the podcast, because the podcast, they don't really get many views. The podcast channel doesn't really have many subscribers. So a lot of people are like, how do you get these many creators on without having 100,000 subscribers, right? How do you do these big collab videos? Like I had you in my video, I asked 30 creators for their advice, and you answered it in Spanish or French. I believe it was Spanish you answered it in, sorry.
It's nice, yeah.
But like people are like, how did you get like all of these people in the video? This is why it's a long-winded answer, because I'm kind of building all into one. At first, I would have said no. Like if you'd asked me a year ago, I would have probably been like, because I didn't want to come off as egotistical. So I'm like, I don't really think so. I think it's just viewers. But as time goes on and as people spoken to me, like when I had Crowfang come on the podcast, I've said this on a few podcasts since our recording. Crow mentioned how as soon as I sent it a friend request, Crow turned around and was like, orbits, or like something along the lines of like, oh yeah, orbits, I know what you want. As soon as friend request come, because
I know what you want.
Yeah, because Crow knew InsideMC. And then when I talked to it about it, it mentioned that Crow's listened to a few episodes, like how you've mentioned here that you've listened to a few episodes. I don't typically ask it. Sometimes people just bring it up themselves. Sometimes I am just curious. But there's a good few creators who have turned around and like said like, yo, like I've listened, like speedrunners, I've listened to all of your speedrunning podcasts. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, because it's interesting to hear how other creators are living their life. Like I guess
that's it, dude. It's so, I don't know, it's so amazing to watch, dude. I'm a big fan of Feinberg, so I watch everything he does. But like even, I don't know, Hacking Noises, you just got him. Like I want to watch this because he's such
so well. It's insane. I'm shocked.
He's such a great speedrunner. It's just so fun. And I you know, there's a lot of people like they just do speedrun, and dude, we don't know nothing about them. I want to know more about them. Like our Recrap, well, he does talk about a lot on his videos, like on his commentary videos. But it's amazing to know more about him because I don't know, like these creators, these speedrunners have lives, and it's really cool to know opinions about things. And it's really cool to know these opinions. I think what they think. I was about
to ask why you listen, but you've answered it there. There you go. See, I have a question that will help me answer this because I based on what your answer is here. Okay, have you ever been on a podcast before?
I guess like once. Okay, but like usually it's like Hispanic fans, Spanish fans. Sometimes it's like for schoolwork or something. They're like, oh, can I interview you like 10 minutes? And that's all. Not like a big podcast like this.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't that massive, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Okay. And then to build on this again for my answer here, have you ever seen the likes of Feinberg, Recrap, Captain Sparkles, like all of them? Have you ever like thought about the idea of them being on a podcast? Like I've just thought of names that I'm fans of. I've mentioned the names that you mentioned there, Feinberg, Hacking Noises. Have you ever thought of the idea that they could possibly be on a podcast? Ignoring InsideMC, like pretend InsideMC didn't exist. As far as I'm aware, Feinberg and Hacking Noises had never been on a podcast prior to this, right?
Well, I guess for Captain Sparkles, which is
Captain Sparkles
really famous.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, he has, but like
I probably shouldn't have thrown that name in there. I should have probably just kept it to Feinberg and Hacking Noises for my point. I said Captain Sparkles, that doesn't help my point.
Yeah, I guess Feinberg, like, well, not, yeah, like I think I watched another podcast he made, but it was like really running niche. But yeah, but of course, yeah, I won't like how, well, ask even me, like who contact me for podcast, like no one.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying that's why like I think InsideMC does so well despite the low viewer counts, is because creators are, what a lot of people don't realize is creators are fans of other creators. They're friends, but they're also fans. There's a lot of people in the space who have messaged me and said like, good podcast. And I'm like, wait, you listen to my podcast talking to this person? Like that's sick, right? I take it as a compliment. So people turn around and like accepted my Discord friend request or accept to come on the podcast because their friends have been on the podcast and they've listened to the friends podcast, right? So, and this is why I asked you two questions to lead into this answer here. It's like, I've always said it, there's two things I want to do with InsideMC. The first thing is also why we're doing the project, is because I want to bring communities together. It's one of my biggest things.
Okay.
It's hopefully, and as well, kind of bring the Spanish community and the English community a little bit together as well, depending on how things go, obviously. So,
that'd be cool.
Like that, I want to bring SMP, Minecraft events, Minecraft speedrunning, I want to bring them all together into one place. Like that's my goal, right? Also, secondly, I want InsideMC to be an archive for the future. I want you to look back on this podcast in 5 years' time and be like, oh my god, I was on that podcast talking about how I wanted English events to do something like the Spanish community does, and now there's this massive English event that's really pushed out the boat. And it's like, I mean, so many times as well, like I've thrown out ideas that I want on the podcast as well that I just don't want to do, and all it takes is the right creator to hear it. So like you could say on the podcast like, oh, it'd be really sick if someone made a full-on pretend a bingo event doesn't exist, all right, from my point here.
Yeah,
you could turn around and be like, oh my god, I think it'd be really cool if someone made a really good bingo event. And all it takes is the right creator to hear you talk about that, be like, damn, I've been thinking about that for a while, that sounds really cool, reaches out to you because you said the idea on this podcast, and then bang, you're working on a bingo event that no one's ever done before. So like it's like this archive for the future. It's really like,
if you hear me, English community YouTubers, dude, Recrap, dude, make a big event. You're Recrap. I would say Feinberg, but Feinberg, like he he already does like all MCSR thing with Rankin and stuff, and that's actually really amazing. But that'd be awesome. More English events will be awesome.
I don't know if you've seen any of the TwitchCon interviews that I've been uploading. I've been uploading them daily since like the start of the month. I did 47 interviews at TwitchCon, like 2-minute long interviews, and I've been uploading them to TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter like daily. Which has been
You
fun.
upload shorts?
Yeah, as shorts, yeah.
I'm seeing them on shorts. I didn't watch them. I should.
They're just like mini little interviews. So like even stuff like that. I've also got an idea for a new series that might have been announced by now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to announce it because I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. But basically, I want to start doing a series called like Behind the Video or something along those lines, where I bring on creators who talk about their videos. Like there's a few videos that have come out in recent months that have been massive and the community absolutely love. So I want to bring on the creators to talk to them specifically about the production, about the like, was it stressful scheduling creators? What was the production like? Are you proud of it? Did you expect to do that well? Like just like interview them about the video specifically as opposed to like interview them on a podcast. So like little things like that I just want. So I want like, they're like creators for instance will watch those videos because they want to learn. I think a lot of the time like with this podcast people a lot more creators than you probably realize will hear about like our conversation we had earlier between the English and the Spanish community because like they're listening to be like, because they want to know that, right? All it takes is one person to be like, oh Shadoune, like the timestamp, because I had timestamps, oh this timestamp said something along the lines of like the difference between communities. Let's all sit in a call, all of us creators as English creators, and hear what Shadoune has to say about the difference in communities. So yeah, I think
now.
A year ago I would have said no. I think if you asked me a year ago I would have said no, that like I don't think many creators listen. But I think nowadays with just how many creators have told me they listen, not to every podcast obviously, I don't expect them to be binge watching me, but I do think a fair few listen regardless.
Yeah, I mean like I think Regrap told he listened to a few of them, right?
Yeah, I mean if you mentioned it on the podcast then probably yeah. I've talked to so many people now, it's a little bit hard to remember.
It's really cool also to have like a podcast to listen. Like I think I began listening when I washed dishes or when I went to the gym. It's really cool. Like as a Minecrafter, I love Minecraft, and I don't know, like of course InsideMC talks about Minecraft and life of Minecraft creators, and it's really good. Yeah, that's a podcast I want to hear, right? Because I don't know which podcast I want to listen if not this. So yeah, that's nice. I like this.
There are what's it called? There are like a few Minecraft podcasts. Like I know there's Horn Chunks, there's a Withering Effect. These are just other podcasts. Like there's Tommy and it's one if you want to class that as Minecraft. But like I've never really seen, and it's kind of why I wanted to start this because there's this creator called Jackmate. He's an English creator. Like not Minecraft at all, but he had this podcast called Jackmate's Happy Hour. He still has the podcast, but when I was working at my first job, I listened like you did. I listened to a podcast while I was working because we was allowed to put our earphones in, and I listened to the Jackmate Happy Hour where he was interviewing creators, and this was back when I was a Bedrock content creator, so I didn't have nearly any of the connections I have now. It's insane how much like my Discord.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about. I heard about in a podcast too.
Yeah, so I start up this podcast because I'm like, you know what? He's interviewing all these people from around the world, like all these like people he's interested in. I think it'd be really cool if like, because I wanted to do content, I wanted to do collabs, but I can never really find my niche. But then I realized, wait, I love talking, so why don't I just do content about yapping to people? That way, then I can interview them, and I can also talk about my feelings. Like when you was talking about your feelings there, I also put my 2 cents in because it gives me the perfect excuse to talk about it, and it's always here that people can come back and listen to it. And if the community changes in 3 years time and we're all besties, people can come back to that podcast and be like, damn, a lot has changed in 3 years, you know?
Yeah, I like the thing you said about having an archive, having history. That's really nice. That's why also like making YouTube videos, like sometimes I pay editors like more than I earn because well YouTube doesn't always pay well and stuff, and it's not always worth it for the money. Let's have to make YouTube. But dude, like watching my videos from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, it's amazing. I love having it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I
understand.
Your name is in the title, right? So all someone has to do is search Shadoune podcast and they find you. Like if they want to watch for a specific video, they can find it, but it's a little bit harder. But if like you're like, I wonder if like Recrap has ever talked about his content before. All you have to search up is Recrap 2 podcasts. InsideMC shows up. Oh, I wonder if Shadoune has ever talked about like his life. All you have to search up is Shadoune podcast and bang, like because because the thing is, right, we can have this conversation on a stream, but the only people who are going to hear that are the people who are in the stream. And then you can upload it as a VOD, but no one's going to VOD watch because you only really upload that on YouTube to not lose the VOD. No one, like, relatively speaking, no one's really watching VODs, right? But podcast is like the perfect excuse to talk about what you want to talk about your feelings, talk about yourself. I mean, the thing is as well, I've realized, and it's what I'm doing right now, is it's in a positive way, not in a negative way. People love talking about themselves, but not everyone gets the opportunity to. Like you said, you've never been invited to a podcast. Like, so you've never actually had the opportunity to talk about you or your life. So I'm turning around and giving you that opportunity. Well, my old slogan before I changed it, because it did feel like a little bit egotistical, was like giving a voice to the creators, as in like letting you talk about yourself and your feelings, because you've never really get to do it unless it's on your own stream. But then I was like, actually, that comes off a little bit egotistical, so I'm going to change it.
It's really interesting because, of course, I can talk about all this on stream, and I do. But like for me, InsideMC is also targeting a real different community from mine. So it's really interesting to talk about these topics and know that English speakers will listen to this and not my Spanish fans. You know,
I'm a bit sad though that like I can't speak Spanish, because it would have been great to be able to speak to your Spanish audience as well. But hopefully the YouTube like auto captions don't mess up too much.
It's actually pretty good. Like I watch English videos with automated Spanish subs, and it works really well now.
Okay.
So yeah, don't worry.
Right.
If YouTube can understand me, of course.
I think you'll be. I think you've done a great job. I mean, I've understood everything. So
let's go.
I don't want to cut the podcast short. I hate doing this, but sadly, because I do have another recording, we are gonna have to move on to the Twitter questions now, Shadoune, if that's okay. Unless you had something else, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or have we done a pretty good job of covering it all?
I think we've done a pretty good job. Yeah, I mean, I talked about all my life, you know. We even talked about the boxing fight. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think we can go to the questions.
Okay, there's not loads anyways. There were a few corrections, which I'm grateful for, mentioning that you were trilingual, not bilingual.
I saw that.
I do want to say I sent the screenshot to Shadoune, and Shadoune said it was fine. So we can blame Shadoune for not correcting me. Bilingual, trilingual. Well, you speak multiple languages, all right?
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Like
people
know me as bilingual because people don't see me like playing the French community anymore. So I mean, it makes sense. As a content creator, I'm like bilingual and trilingual.
Well, our first question comes from Rai Rai. What's your dream event team? It can be Spanish, English, a mix. It can be anything. What are like? And for the sake of it, I want to say that you can't say a team you've already been on before. You have to change at least one or two of the players.
Okay, my dream event team.
It doesn't have to be balanced, by the way. It can be busted.
I always imagine if someday, like never happened, but someday they invite me to like a huge event, like I don't know, 100k event, a Minecraft event, and I can choose whoever I want. Dude, we are winning this. I'm inviting Feinberg, and then I'm talking with Feinberg who to invite, and dude, we're inviting like I don't know, Loki or like the best players in the world. Like, of course, it depends on the event. If it's Bingo, Spear, and MCC or something.
Let's say it's just a 4-player event. What's your team of 4? So you, Feinberg,
like
2
MCC?
others off the top of your head. We can say MCC, sure. It doesn't have to be a balanced team. It can be a very unrealistic team.
Dude, I want Feinberg, but he speaks Spanish, you know? Okay, so Feinberg, Spanish Feinberg.
Spanish Feinberg, love that.
That'd be nice.
Good start.
Who do I love? I don't know, dude. That's hard. Because yeah, I like everyone. I love to team with everyone. Like I'm really fine with everyone. It depends. Like if I want vibes or I want to win as well, you know. If I want to win, like really, I don't care. I just want the best players.
Let's do vibes then. Let's do vibes so that we can get.
Yeah, if I want vibes, I'll just like take like my friends. Like there's Counter. I love Counter. I love Serpias. Spring is always fun, but he always like tells me because I'm French. Let's say Feinberg, Counter, and Serpias.
Okay, nice. I like that. The next one comes from Moat. If your channel wasn't about Minecraft, what other game or type of content would it be?
Damn, what a banger question! Because you don't know this, but there was a time, I think 2016, 2017, I didn't play Minecraft anymore almost. Dude, I made Overwatch videos on my main channel.
Oh.
I made 3 Overwatch videos because I wanted to switch my content. I was going to switch my content of my main channel to Overwatch because I was playing a lot of Overwatch. And spoiler, it didn't work because there was really low views because it wasn't Minecraft. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a bad idea. But I made 3 videos and it was really fun. So I love, well, maybe it would be Call of Duty. I think it would be shooters because I was really good at it.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I was really good at Overwatch. I was almost Grandmaster at the time.
In an alternate universe, this podcast is called Inside OW, and I invited you on to talk about
after
Overwatch.
having XQC, Shadoune666.
Ah man, I choose Shadoune any day.
Dude, you know Dante?
Okay. Yes, I do. Sorry,
yeah, because it's awesome. Like Dante was like the best UHC player, and he became like one of the best Overwatch player. That was cool to see.
Kind of insane, right?
But yeah, Overwatch, Call of Duty, shooters. I think that's basically all. Like then I play like small games, like sometimes I play Fortnite, sometimes I play Roblox when there are events, but that's all. So yeah, Call of Duty, I think.
The next one is from Bug Boy. If possible, would you do? I feel like I know the answer to this. If possible, would you do a Block Wars Hispanic who?
Oh yeah. I want to do it. I'm Poirier. I am speaking to Wolfie about it. And we'll see if it happens. But
Hola,
yeah, I think
orbits.
so yeah, Spanish Block Wars was really fun. There was some problems because it's like people don't know anything about Block Wars and people don't know anything about this type of games, and there was such a huge knowledge gap between me and the other players that was kind of a like balancing issue, I say. But it was really cool. I want to do another one.
The next one comes from Aaron is Pico. If you could change one thing about the Spanish and/or English event community, what would it be?
Wow. One thing about the communities, I'd love for them to like mix more, I guess. But I mean, we're already mixing. I mean, we're having like a lot of Spanish teams in English events. Like that's really amazing. I'm having a blast playing these events like with friends. But yeah, I don't know. I guess more. I say more. Maybe more. We should make like more events together, but not like MC events. More maybe videos. We could more collabs. Like these. I guess you saw the last video about the speedrunners like who change every minute.
Yeah, that's remember when I told you earlier about the series that I want to do? Funny enough, Adronicus is going to be the first person I bring on for it, which is that video.
Okay, well, this video was amazing. I saw it. Actually, I saw it with Spanish subtitles, and it was fine on YouTube. But dude, I would love to see like Spanish streamers or Spanish streamers on this type of videos. Or if I know the Manhunt, I would love to invite English creators as well, right? More collabs maybe.
Okay, I like that. The next one comes from Unrandom de Turch. I hope I said that right. I don't know if this is an inside joke or if they're just genuinely asking. The only valid question for the French, what did you say?
So what? I didn't understand.
Maybe it's not an inside joke. Their question is literally the only valid question for the French. What did you say? I don't know if it was. I thought it was like an inside joke here. I didn't know.
I will look for the tweet because maybe it's it.
Hold up, I'll send it to you. I can just copy link it. I just like, do you know how, like sometimes people will ask questions and there's like an inside joke that I don't know about. I didn't know if this was an inside joke, so I thought I'd just ask.
This guy is Spanish guy. I know him. It's only valid question for French. What do you say? Okay, I think he's saying that because people won't understand me. So yeah, because I'm French with a French accent. So the only valid question is what do you say, because like no one knows what I said.
Okay,
I think that's a joke.
I think I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure. Because I remember like I think like you mentioned it earlier, unless I misheard you, was like sometimes because obviously being French, the way you pronounce some Spanish words are a little bit different, despite being like a Spanish speaking content creator or like quote unquote Spanish speaking content creator. So maybe it's just playing into that bit there.
Dude, sometimes playing MCC is so hard because like I haven't talked in English like in 3 months, and I have to play a competitive event in English, and then I just start speaking Spanish in the middle because I'm used to like poor teammates. That's crazy.
This comment is in Spanish, so I'm gonna ask it in Spanish, and feel free to answer it in Spanish. I'm trusting you don't say anything bad here. So I'm just gonna sit here like numb while you speak. Sorry if I pronounce any of these words wrong. ¿Cómo se introdujo en el mundo competitivo de Minecraft?
Okay, muy bien. Muy bien dicho, mi querido InsideMC, gracias. So I should understand in Spanish or English?
The reply was in Spanish. I guess just replied to them in Spanish, so it's easier because like, I guess I mean you can do both if you want.
Ok, ¿cómo se introdujo en el mundo competitivo de Minecraft? Pues como dije, fue con el team de Angry Jumps, cuando me invitó Rubik al team de Angry Jumps Point Swag. Ahí empecé a jugar pues torneos de Minecraft en the Broadcast Network. Okay, it's a short answer, so it's okay. Okay, so it says, how did I get introduced to the competitive world of Minecraft?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm saying, like, as I said, with my, let's say, lore number 1, when I started playing with the Spanish team, I got invited to. That's where I started playing competitive Minecraft, because it was Overcast Network, which was a competitive server with tournaments. And yeah, so I started there.
I know we kind of mentioned it earlier, but I kind of just wanted to see if my Spanish was any good. Did I pronounce that all right? Was I good?
Yeah. I understood it. I understood well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I used the translate feature, so like I knew it was a question we'd already covered, but I was like, you know what? I want to ask it anyway, so I can see.
Nice. Training Spanish for the next podcast in Spanish.
I will practice, and hopefully in 5 years' time, when I can speak fluent Spanish, I'll bring you back on.
For the 666 podcast.
Yes. I will make this the final question, because a few of them like we've kind of brushed on throughout the podcast. I don't want to like keep repeating like we did there. This one is from Godrix, and it's only because we haven't really touched on it. Do you think you made the right decision when you quit your job in 2020?
The short answer is yes. I did the right decision. I didn't talk about this, but I am an engineering and I used to work like at the time before quitting my job. I used to work as an engineer in 5G in Nokia.
Okay.
So I had like a pretty good job, and like I had a pretty high pay as well. And dude, like I was like having a lot of views on Twitch and YouTube, and I was like, dude, what do I do? And like COVID just hit, and I was like, yeah, I don't like my job that much. So yeah, I will just leave, and if it doesn't work out, I will just find another job. I might as well. And yeah, I just took the opportunity. But it was crazy because dude, I have to talk to my family, and like maybe in this job I earned like, I don't know, let's say $3,000 a month, and on YouTube, Twitch, like at that time I used to earn like $300 a month. And I was like, dude, like it's kind of crazy to, that's a high risk. And like, of course, my mom, she understands because she's an artist, but I mean, yeah, it's risky. And yeah, I did it anyway, and really fine. So I'm happy.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'd love to make content full time. Hopefully one day I get the opportunity. But it's I think I also talked to Sneak about it, just because they were bringing up earlier on their podcast. I don't know if you listened to it, where like they left university to take content creation full time, or like they stopped university, or when they finished university they took content creation full time. I can't remember like the full story, but like it's always interesting, like your example, your scenario here, where like you quit a job where you was earning $3,000 a month to take on YouTube, and you was only earning $300 a month, and now like it paid off. Like such a big risk worked out.
Yeah, but like I'm glad. I'm happy for you. It was my passion. It was my passion, and I knew like I had this opportunity, and I might not have another one. That's the thing. Like you have to know when to take the opportunity, and I took it. I'm so glad I took it, because it would be impossible if I didn't take it. Like at this moment, I'm happy. I have a good life. I can play Minecraft and live out of it. So I mean, I can't complain.
With that being said, then that sadly brings the end of this week's InsideMC. It's been lovely chatting with you, Shadoune. Thank you so much.
I love this. Like I'm so happy we did this, and I don't know, like watching so many InsideMC podcasts, I was like, oh, maybe I can talk about this. I think I can talk about this, and it's really interesting. So thank you so much for having me.
I'm very grateful for you to for coming on as well, and thank you again for all the compliments. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Before I do the outro here, though, I always like to give this opportunity for you to promote yourself. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are and is finding out about you for the first time and absolutely loved our chat, where can people find you?
People can find me on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, and Instagram, TikTok. I don't make that much content on Instagram, TikTok, but I try to, because that's where you get brand deals usually. But yeah, I mostly stream, and I try to make good videos on my main channel. That's what I try to do.
There you go. Well, thank you very much again, Shadoune. I'm going to tell you how my outro goes. Can you do it in Spanish or French or both, or whatever you want?
Oh yeah, it's Spanish.
Okay, cool. All right, so my outro goes, thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.
Okay, repeat. pues,
Thank
thank you for listening.
You know what, we can do it. Once I say it, you can do it in a Spanish way. So we can do like
Okay.
line by line. How's that sound? Yeah? So we get both. Thank you all
Okay,
for
let's go.
listening.
Gracias a todos por escuchar.
Stay safe.
Quédense seguros, a salvo.
Don't eat too much bread.
No comas tanto pan.
Pieces.
Pieces. I don't know. Pieces.
Yeah, I mean, pieces can be taken anyway. Okay, bye.